Welcome, Lindsay. Thanks for taking out a bit of a time to spend time with me and go through some interview and let's have a conversation. Let's call it a conversation. So, if you could tell us, a little bit about yourself, what you do, and a little bit about the company.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Lindsay Warren. I am founder and MD of Net Zero Evolution. So we're a recruitment business, specialize in all of the sectors that have got the biggest mission in the world, which is to decarbonize our beautiful planet, hopefully by the year 2050. And those sectors really include transport and infrastructure. So electric vehicles, electric vertical takeoff and landing, and unmanned aircraft, and then your more traditional renewable energy sectors: solar, wind, green hydrogen, and a bit of carbon capture. We have great fun doing it.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds like it. So, tell us a little bit about your path to how you got where you are now.
Okay, so I was in business development and field sales for a number of years, plodding along in the company Volvo, earning a small bonus instead of uncapped commission. And I thought there's got to be more to life than just hitting this number all the time. So I decided to get into recruitment and actually created for myself a 15, 20-year plan from that day. My intention was always to learn and master recruitment and then go out and set up my own business. So I spent 7 years working for ATA Recruitment, which was then merged in with a company called Ganymede, and we were recruiting rail engineers, rolling stock technicians on permanent and contract basis. And I was asked to look at an electric vehicle charging market by our CEO. I was the top biller at that business for the last 4 years that I was there, so it was natural that they wanted me to go out and try and open this new market. And the branding wasn't right, Asari. It was an industry full of passionate decarbonisation, electric vehicle evangelists, and we were a business that recruited track maintenance engineers and people that fixed diesel trains. So I had a couple of long discussions with them and thought, you know what, I think I can do this better myself. So went out and found some support, so I didn't have the weight of the entire business on my own shoulders. Got a couple of fantastic non-exec directors on board, and here we are, nearly 3 years now.
Fantastic. It's a great story. It's very unusual for somebody to say, I mean, I meet business owners and classic onboarding. I say, how many years in the future do we go when we look at your goals? And most people will struggle more than 5 years, maybe.
Okay.
But you mentioned there you had a 15 to 20-year plan.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
cool. That's pretty interesting.
woke up on my 30th birthday and thought, what am I doing? I need to I need to get my life in gear. I spent the majority of my 20s in the pub or watching football and kind of just plodding through life really without a proper goal. So took it upon myself to read more, listen to podcasts, get an idea of why are these people that are just as intelligent as me and often not as intelligent as me, why are they so successful? How come they've got millions in the bank and I haven't? And it became apparent that I needed to do something initially with uncapped commission and something where I could easily set up a business without any capex costs. It is the most straightforward way to become very wealthy, become excellent at a specific service. So I knew that between the ages of 30 and 35 to 36, I needed to learn the trade. From 36 to 40 to 41, 42, we need to start growing the business. And from 42 to 50 is then the plan to scale, sell, exit, and hopefully retire. My father retired at 51, and I'll be pretty annoyed if I don't beat him. So I'm aiming for 50, to be fair. And that's the 20-year plan from 30 to 50 to make up for the lost time of being a scallywag in my
Yeah,
20s.
that is truly amazing. I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed that to make a plan like that. Um,
Mm.
I'm going to have a conversation with my son later. 15, 20-year plan. Let's get it going. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. So how would you describe your typical client?
Our typical client, well, there's a variety. Let me tell you about our favourite type of client first of all. So our ideal client really is a business that is through the R&D phase of development and into a position where they are very likely to be getting Series A funding in the not too distant future. A business that is reliant on having top talent within their team, ideally with a leader who also understands and appreciates that the business is not going to be successful without top talent. And I would want that business to be in one of a few core markets. So that could be electric vehicle manufacturing or vehicle electrification, electric vehicle charging, wind, both onshore or offshore, solar, green hydrogen, carbon capture. So does this business have a desire to grow a team of people passionate about making a difference and getting us to net zero 2050? That's a big part of it. And of course, the other part of it is there a plan to grow the business? Naturally, we work with clients that are in business as usual state, that might be public listed companies. I mean, we work with EDF, E.ON, Orsted, to name three that we do work for. They're not startups and scale ups, but they're great businesses that require great people. So we still get involved with them. But we have the biggest impact with those startups, Asari, to be honest. And when you have a big impact, you feel more empowered and you get more of a buzz at work, right? If you know you're having a bigger impact. So yeah, that's the kind of businesses we aim for.
It's exciting because it's interesting. I don't think I've met a recruiter with so much passion in terms of not just what for the industry, but for what the result of where you're going,
Yeah,
what you're contributing to. There's lots of passion around that, and that's interesting.
it's one of the only sectors that I genuinely believe you can have that much passion about. I mean, people get into recruitment to earn money. And I thought at the time when I was 30, 31, 32, that that's what it was all about. But I think the more you get to know yourself, and the more mature you get, I think you kind of feel that there has to be a bigger reason, a bigger reason to get out of bed than just money. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I want to earn a good living and support the family as best as I can. But it's not about that. And I've learned over the last probably 3 or 4 years
Mm,
that the business becomes more successful through that passion and focusing on that longer term mission. We're not just a recruitment business. We want to make sure that we're progressing the future in the right direction, and that's big.
yeah, yeah. And it's interesting. And I know the business been around for 3 years. Is there
Mm-hmm.
any particular mistakes that you think, well, I wouldn't do that again. I'll do it differently now.
Ah, absolutely, yeah. I think we went into an office too early. When I launched the business, I was using my old bedroom at my parents' house because why wouldn't I? It was free. I had cups of tea made for me occasionally, and it was lovely being there. But I think I got a little bit ahead of myself and got into an office a little bit too quickly. That's probably one mistake. Um, I think the first hires. Now, the first hire was potentially a mistake, but not necessarily for any real personal reasons. I think again, I was very much excited about onboarding a member of staff, right? And I'm a recruitment consultant, right? And I'm excellent at recruiting in the markets that we specialize in. How often do I recruit recruiters? Nowhere near as often as I recruit project managers, etc. And I think I didn't take my time enough with those first hires because they are absolutely critical to the progression of the business. Had I had the team I've got now back in at the start of 2023, I think we would have probably doubled our headcount again already.
Wow, it's interesting because one of the sayings, I can't remember where it came from, but successful people often say, hire slowly, fire fast. Don't do it
Yeah,
the other way
exactly
around.
that. Yeah, and that's something I've had to learn over the last few years.
Yeah, yeah. Get the right person. Take your time, get the right person. But if they're not the
Yeah.
right person, then yeah, make a decision quickly.
Hmm.
Some people, as you said, they hire too quickly, get excited, and then it drags on for ages, and people not happy. It's
Yeah.
interesting. So, do you have something that you would describe as a routine, or is it very varied your day?
Oh, I live by routine. I struggle to function without one, Asari, even at weekends. And if my partner was here now, she'd be rolling her eyeballs at my routine, probably. Um, every activity that I need to complete throughout the week is in my calendar. It can move, it can go into a different slot where it needs to if there's a priority that comes up. But essentially, there are a number of things that I need to make sure I'm prioritizing as the owner of the business. And the top priority for me is the internal meetings with the consultants, the one-to-ones that we have. The calls on a Monday to discuss the plan that they've got for the week, and then the meeting that we have on a Wednesday to give them any support that they need to make sure they can get to the end of the week having executed that plan in its entirety. But I'm still an active recruiter as well, Asari. So I've got clients to talk to, I've got candidates to source, I've got interviews to carry out, I've got different technology to assess and analyze whether or not it could be useful for the business. And it's all very structured in terms of when I do things. Yeah, I couldn't live any other way, to be honest. I think my 20s weren't structured. I think that's why I've gone so far the other way now, because I used to live by the day, and that doesn't really get you to the peak of your top performance.
So very planned. It's
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
very.
Would you say you have a long day?
Um, Occasionally, Mondays are standard half 8, half 5. Tuesdays standard half 8, half 5. Get home to have my son on a Tuesday night while my partner works. Wednesdays and Thursdays I work to Eastern time because we cover the US as part of our geographical remit. And as much as I try to get into the office at 10:30, 11 a.m., so I work until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I just wake up and there's things I want to get done. So I end up coming in at half 8, 9 o'clock still. So yeah, I have a couple of sort of 13, potentially 14-hour days on a Wednesday and a Thursday. And the other days will be your standard 9 or 10 hours.
Weekends?
Um, in the earlier days, I was working most Saturdays, 9 or 10 hours. We've got to a point now, and having a new baby as well, it's just not sort of the be all and end all. There's nothing that can't wait until Monday morning, Asari. And I find I perform much better during the week, having had that proper downtime as well at the
Yeah, a
weekends,
little
mate, to
bit
be
of
honest.
rest, a little bit of get out of it,
Mm,
isn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
interesting. No, I like that. Yeah, so you're not one of those get up at 5 o'clock, go to the gym, do meditation, bit of yoga,
No, I
have a
used to
perfect diet,
do.
all that stuff.
No, I used to do a bit of that. The minute I'm fasting until 2 p.m., and my mates say to me, "You're just skipping breakfast," but I like to call it fasting. And so I don't eat anything until 2 p.m. And if I go and get my lunch and I'm sitting there and it's 1:58, I won't open the box. Sorry, I'll wait until 2 o'clock. And the reason I do that is to create a habit, and it becomes much easier to have these processes that benefit your life in the longer term by creating habit. Eating a healthy lunch and skipping breakfast and lowering your calories isn't going to make a difference in 1 or 2 days. It's going to make a difference across a period of 6 months. So you've got to create the processes and the structure for that to take place. Um, there was a period where I was getting up at 5 a.m. every day. I'd done it for about 18 months, and I would read for 20 minutes, I'd meditate for 20 minutes, and then I would exercise for 20 minutes, and I absolutely loved it at the time. And just yeah, all of a sudden stopped doing it and haven't really gone back. I think I needed that at the period where the business was
Yeah, yeah,
to kickstart my day and you know what I mean, cramming those extra hours after that. I mean, I
yeah,
loved it
yeah.
at the time, but yeah, not into that anymore.
It's interesting. Most successful people have some kind of routine that gets them in the right zone, and as you said, links to either their body or their physical somehow.
Yeah.
That seems to be certainly clear. So if I say to you the word success, what comes to mind? Do you think of a famous people, somebody in your family? What does success? What person comes in your head when I say that?
What person? Probably the likes of Richard Branson, Stephen Bartlett, um, your traditional like Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, who's not many people's favourite person at the minute, but we can't deny that he's been successful. To be fair, um, I think yeah, pretty big when I think success really.
Yeah, very very successful people. And is it because of and it's because of what they've done in business, particularly?
Yeah, I just think that the the life they've created for themselves, what it's given them is complete freedom of time,
Yeah,
and by earning significant amounts of money, growing fantastic businesses, you're empowering other individuals to come on that journey with you. That gives you a fantastic feeling. Um, and for yourself, for your own personal gain in the end, you're going to have something there that continues to generate income for you to give you freedom of time, because time is the only thing that we genuinely are not in control of, I think, in this life. And those guys have done that unbelievably well. But guess what? They all still love working, right? And how great is that in terms of being a success? You've got freedom of time, but you still do what you love doing because you just love doing it that much.
Yeah, yeah, it's true that none of them have said, right, that's it. I mean, maybe
No,
Branson's famous for his Necker Island, but they all
yeah,
still seem to work, still, as you said, still work
still
hard.
doing bits. Mm.
Yeah. So I know you talked about time frames before. Where do you have a thought about 5 years from now in the business? Do you plan that ahead?
Yeah, so 5 years from now, I want to be in a position where I start stepping back from being directly involved in the business. Um, Recruitment as a business at the stage that it's at currently, this business isn't worth much if I'm not in it, because it's my clients, my relationships, my training of the consultants, and we're relatively small at the moment. But in 5 years' time, we need to have a different person in the MD role. We need to have the ops director and the business development director and a successful team of people that have equity in the business, that are leading it, driving it forward, and running it effectively. So we're in a position to look at starting to think about selling the business, which, if we add another 5 years to the 5 years you've given, will hopefully happen in around 10 years' time.
Brilliant. And that's when into the sun in Italy.
That's it, yeah. A nice house overlooking Lake Como. And I'll take a little stroll down the hill past the church, have pasta for lunch every day, a couple of coffees. That'd be lovely.
So do you think you'd stop working?
Probably not. I don't. I used to think I would, but I think as time goes on, possibly not. The beautiful thing about recruitment is that you can. I could sit as an independent, just doing a week a month and make a couple of placements and continue to generate income. I might decide I want to set up a business doing something else. I think the number that I've got in mind in terms of selling the business is going to give me that freedom of time and the possibility to invest in a few businesses and perhaps keep my eye in that way. But I wouldn't want to be working more than 20, 30 hours a week, I don't think, after I'm 50.
Yeah, yeah, no, fair enough. It's good to, and you got a plan, so that's the key thing.
Yeah.
Um, we talked about, of course, employment, and obviously that's your
Mm-hmm.
game. What lessons do you think you've learned about employing people? How do you get the best out of people?
I think by having a clear plan and structure with an employee, I think you're going to get the best out of them, but not the plan that you've got that you think they want. You need to talk about the plan that they want and incorporate their life and personal plans into the business plan, to talk about how being successful in the workplace through from 9 to 5 is going to impact their life outside of work as well. Everybody's different. Everybody's very individual, and there's different ways of managing different types of personalities. But I think one thing that every good human being has got in common is that they like to make other people smile. They like to get up in the morning and work towards a long-term goal. Now, the long-term goals for some people are way too far in advance, right? We've just spoken about a 10-year one that I'm looking at, but that is then broken down into the 5 year, into the 3 year, the 1 year, the 6 month, the quarterly plan, the monthly plan, the weekly plan, and the daily plan. So my daily plan tomorrow is having a direct impact on my 10-year plan when I'm 50, and getting that through to employees, I think, and making it clear that your daily plan is part of the bigger journey is really a great way of helping people flourish, I think.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. That's interesting. Oh yeah, so it's one of those things. Increasingly, it's quite interesting because the word DEI or EDI, all these things have
Mm-hmm.
become, obviously with Trump coming in, have become a bit of a target. But even before that, but it's quite interesting that whenever you talk to good employers, they always say we got to get to know the person to get the best out of them. You can't just treat everybody
Yeah.
exactly the same. Don't work. And
No,
it's
exactly
it's,
that.
it's, it's quite interesting, yeah. So on a different issue, does AI have any impact in your industry yet?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. What
Yeah.
impact's it having now then? or will
So
have?
there are a lot of time-heavy tasks in recruitment, and there are a lot of personal human touch tasks in recruitment. Now, it's the personal human touch tasks that enable us to build relationships and be a successful recruiter or recruitment business. And the administrative tasks slow that down. So AI can be used and is being used pretty effectively in a number of administrative tasks at the minute in our business, and no doubt in many other recruitment businesses as well. AI can also lean across the ugly side in recruitment, where some businesses incorporate it into their candidate screening process. And actually, I won't name any of the big corporations, but there's a business that carries out a virtual interview. Someone will have a video interview with an AI bot, and the AI bot is judging where the candidate's looking and their facial expressions and what answers they're giving.
Interesting.
And the computer's making the decision on whether or not that person's appropriate for that job. That, for me, is just not acceptable. We're dealing with human beings, and to put them in front of a robot is not good. So it's having some really good impacts in places, and then it's having some quite disappointing impacts in others. But I'm not sure that will last, Asari. I think it should go back to human. It's got to.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, there is. That is interesting about whether can you make your business AI proof? And I think yeah, there's definitely businesses where the human touch,
Yeah,
computer's not there yet. Would it be ever there? Maybe, but
yeah.
it'll be a
I
long
think
way off yet.
a key soft skill that is coming up in any role now is somebody's ability to manipulate AI. So if we use ChatGPT as an example, can you get the best out of AI as a human? Yes, I can. Well, that makes you particularly employable because of the productivity increase
Yeah,
that can be shown. So I don't think AI will ever replace recruiters, but I tell you now, the best recruiters in 5 years will also be very, very good at using AI and manipulating AI to where they need it. That human touch, though, that will never go.
yeah, yeah. So you got the combination. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You mentioned you started to read and look at podcasts and that. Do you have any favorites, books or people that you listen to?
Yeah, so favorite books, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. I've read that 2 or 3 times. Robin Sharma is probably my favorite author. He's got The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, The Wealth That Money Can't Buy, The 5 a.m. Club, fantastic books. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Um, I'd say they're probably up there. There's another guy, Steve Peters, Professor Steve Peters. I think he was Ronnie
Steve Peters, yeah,
O'Sullivan's mentor
yeah,
coach, and he's got a book, The Chimp Paradox, and then there's a book, Path Through the Jungle, that follows on from The Chimp Paradox. Fantastic books they are. Really, really good at talking about habits. Oh, and the Atomic Habits as well is an awesome book. I got through a lot
I
between the
thought you did
ages
the
of sort
Atomic
of
Habits
30,
because the way you
35.
explained your habit.
Yeah, and do you know what I'm exceptional at retaining the really important bits of information out of those books, Asari. Right? I feel like all of them have shaped the person that am now and who I am becoming as time goes on. So I try and continue to top that up with as many as I can. In terms of podcasts, Diary of a CEO and the High Performance Podcast are really the only two that I listen to.
Yeah, well, pretty good ones.
Yeah, yeah,
No. And you get variety on them as well, which is interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
No, brilliant. Yeah, learning and constant and developing the brain and the sharpness is definitely important.
yeah.
Would you say you got any particular challenges in your industry right now?
Yes, there are. Recruitment, do you mean, or are you talking about the industries that we recruit
Yeah,
into?
yeah, recruitment. Yeah,
Yeah. 2024 was a really challenging year for recruitment as a whole. Um, the job market was tight. There were fewer opportunities to engage with clients as there were in previous years. It probably hasn't been as dry, particularly in our sectors in 2024 as it was in 2008. It was not great last year. Towards the end of last year, it's turned again and it's picked up really, really well. I suppose the biggest challenges this year are going to be just keeping relationships tight, because so many new recruitment businesses pop up all the time, independents, and particularly in the sort of embryonic stage of some of the sectors that we're in. People are going to sit around a table that own recruitment businesses and say, right, which market do we need to go in next? And electric vehicle charging, green hydrogen, battery storage, they're going to be up there. And if they're not selected, they'll be in the discussion. So one of the
Mm.
challenges for us is to try and keep that competition locked out, I guess, which is a challenge for every business, really.
It's interesting last year because, but also about the UK economy and obviously America with new administration in America. There's lots of it's created a certain amount of uncertainty.
Yeah.
We've got the tariffs and all that, and there was talk about big investment in green tech and
Hmm.
green economy. That investment has been scaled back
Yeah.
initially. But are you still seeing good growth? Is it still a growing, fast growing sector?
In If we look at the UK and Europe, yes. Um, Government investment drives investor confidence and it helps put money in, which helps scale at pace, right? But without government investment, these businesses are still in stages where they are either not, if they're not profitable now, they will become profitable as they get into the OPEX phase of their projects. But ultimately, a lot of the businesses make money. So while government investment is there and it highlights it, that's great, but they'll continue to be successful. I think similar in the US market, although in the US market, you've got federal policy, which Trump has direct impact over. That's terrible right now for any renewable energy or electric vehicle
Mm,
industries. But state law is in control of projects that are already existing and is also in control of some types of future projects. An example is offshore, onshore wind. Offshore wind's fully federal. Onshore wind, a lot of it is managed by state law because where the wind farm is, they have the impact. Many states, Asari, still love renewable energy. Donald Trump is the voice that we're hearing, but he doesn't speak for everybody that is alive or in business in that country. And I think, as with many recessions and any downturn in any industry, I genuinely believe it is fear and scaremongering and everybody panicking and saying, whoa, hold on, let's wait and see what happens, that causes things to slow down. If
mm.
nobody said, let's wait and see what happens, they would probably carry on. Um, but yeah, it's not the end of the world. Put it this way, we're not going to close down the business and start recruiting in other markets because of it, because yeah, we're still confident it'll be a good year.
Yeah, yeah. No, brilliant. Yeah. So we're coming to the end now. If I gave you £100 million, it's a
Yeah,
good. Start the story sounds good, doesn't it? I give you £100 million
yeah.
to invest in business. What would
Hmm.
you do with it?
I'd probably take half of it and put it into AI. Um, I would use 10 million of it to hire researchers to tell me what to spend the other 40 million on, probably.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I think, it, yeah, I think AI is going to be still the biggest impact. I know there's been a bit of volatility in terms of DeepSeek coming out the woodwork, and the likes of Nvidia and a number of other businesses have seen dramatic share prices fall over the last few months. But the key for AI is that it increases productivity. I don't think, other than the industrial revolution and initially when the car or the train or the aeroplane was invented, there has not been one single invention that can increase productivity as much as artificial intelligence can. And when they get it right, that's going to be phenomenal in terms of growth for everybody.
Mhm. Does it come with fear? There's lots of fear with it. Some people are very optimistic with it and say it will create new industries, new opportunities. But a lot of people are terrified, thinking, "Yeah, but is my job going to be around, or is my children going to have a job?"
Mm. I think the fear comes from within, Asari. At the risk of maybe annoying some of the listeners here, let's talk about Instagram or Facebook and what we have on our feeds of social feeds, right? The people that are full of positivity in life and on their feeds and with their outlook are going to find the good in everything. And unfortunately, the people that choose not to find the good in everything are always going to be negative and pessimistic about anything like that. So I think it's going to be fantastic. Somebody who's not in a particularly great place in a period of their life are probably going to think it's going to be awful. We'll wait for the facts to find out, but I'll probably be on the right side of that fence, I think, when we do find
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You got to think that way. I agree with you 100%. So
Yeah.
just in finishing, really, for people listening who are in business or maybe thinking of getting into business, what tips would you leave somebody out there about, being successful in business? What do you think they should know?
They need to educate themselves on every area possible within not only the type of business they're running, but business in general. And educate yourself with the open mind that you don't need to become an expert in all of the bits you're learning about. You need to find other people that can be experts in certain areas, whether it's mentors, people that have been there, done that, got the t-shirt, or whether we're talking about the staff that you're bringing in and hiring.
Yeah,
You need to have a really open mind about releasing some equity to the right people once they've proven themselves to you. If you want to hire the best people, and it's a little bit cliche, but 10% of a £50 million business is worth a hell of a lot more than 100% of a 500,000 or a £1 million business. Don't be selfish. Don't be egotistical. Just be sensible about what you're good at and what you need support with.
yeah. No, I love that thing about equity. It's quite interesting because you watch Dragons, you can watch Dragons Den, and
Mm,
somebody goes in and says, I want to give 5% of my business away. And you're thinking, for that amount of money.
yeah,
And then they say, I want 10% or 15%, and they walk away, and you're thinking, what are you doing?
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, it seems crazy to me because that's the same thing. They got a business worth, well, it's not even worth 500,000 at the moment, say. And
yeah,
a dragon saying to you, let's make millions. And
yeah.
you're saying, no, I don't want 90% of millions. I want 100% of
Nothing.
500,000.
Yeah,
To me,
yeah.
the maths don't working for me. I'm not getting the maths here. But
No, I know.
maybe they think, well, it will grow to millions anyway. So I want to
You know
keep
what
the
that
whole
is?
lot. But
That's too many people telling them how fantastic they are and how amazing they're doing, and them not taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture.
yeah, yeah. And also, my question is, why are you there then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's something you want that you don't have at the moment. So, it's going to cost something, isn't it? But it's interesting, yeah. But no,
yeah,
I like the analogy. So, Lindsay, I just want to say thank you. I could talk to you all day. Um,
yeah. Likewise, thanks.
yeah, thank you for doing this. Lots of nuggets there, lots of learnings. I hope everybody listening enjoyed it as much as I did.
Thank you. Cheers, Asari. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Brilliant.